And I think we're good to go. So apologies for the technical difficulties there. It's been a while since I've streamed. Welcome to Beta Weekend 2 for Neverwinter. Now, my original intention was to actually put some time into the beta, kind of figure out what's changed and what's going on between the 2 weeks. But they decided to wipe all the characters between betas, so the chances of me actually going to be able to get to level 40, which is the new level cap, is reasonably slim, at least, immediately. So I figured that instead of doing that, we'd start a new character because they did add a new class, the Control Wizard. So we'll be showing that off. I did poke at the game a little bit earlier, and they've also redone at least the very first part of the game. I didn't go much further, but I figured you guys might like to see it, as it's already, as far as I played, improved over what they were showing in the last weekend that they ran. So here we are, back at character creation. There are no additional races at this point. I take that back. There is one additional race. There is the half-orc, as I do not believe those were available in the previous weekend. So we have half-orc, human, dwarf, elf, half-elf, tiefling, and halfling. No drow yet, for those of you who like Drizzt, but I do believe they are still coming. So continuing on, we still have the Trickster Rogue, the Devoted Cleric, and the Guardian Fighter. They've opened up the Control Wizard this weekend, which is what we will be playing. And again, coming soon, the Multi-Weapon Fighter should be the only launch class left, unless they are holding some back for surprise announcement. So as it says down here, Control Wizards harness powerful arcane energies to restrict, crush, and debilitate their foes. Wielding a magical orb, they are capable of unleashing torrents of damage alongside an adventuring party, and use ice and force to manipulate the movements of unwitting creatures. So they get Magic Missile at will, blast your enemy with arcane damage. The third cast strikes 3 times and adds a stack of arcane mastery to you. Mage Hand. Punch your target with an arcane fist, dealing high damage and interrupting their abilities. So that's an encounter ability. And Arcane Singularity as a daily, call into existence a massive singularity. Bit of a word wrap issue there. Arcana, general ability. You collect magic items to sell, and you can interact with arcane objects. These interactions often give you a bonus to combat skills. So, continue on. This is the same skill rolling mechanic that you saw in the last week. These are actually decent enough stats, so we'll go with them. You can keep clicking reroll. It is not purely random. Internally it's got a table of stats that it will give you, and you just kind of cycle between them. I still don't know why exactly they don't just let you pick from a table rather than forcing you to keep clicking random for something you may like. But I guess it gives it a little more D&D feel. Something I hope they reconsider before launch, but we'll see. And I'm just kind of going to flip through the appearance. I have not noticed any new appearance options or any additional deity or character origins, though considering how many origins there were available, I could easily have missed some. So we'll give her a quick name, and off we go.
Look out!
Hey, are you all right?
And cutscenes.
Move around using the W, A, S, and D keys.
And they have the most epic tutorial voice ever.
This is Private Wilfred. Press F when close to talk to him.
Thank the gods. When I saw the Draculith attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors. What brings you to Neverwinter in such troubled times? I will say, that is my business. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. It's just now is not a good time to be traveling here. As you may have noticed, Neverwinter is under attack. The necromancer Valindra is assaulting the city with her undead legions. Search the wreckage along the shore for your gear. It's dangerous to go unarmed right now. When you finish, head up to the camp at the top of the hill. They've got a nice warm fire up there. You'll feel better once you've dried out.
The quest path leads to your next objective. Press C to toggle it on and off. Waypoints appear on the map to mark your quest's objectives.
I am Epic Movie Voice. Yes, as he mentioned, if you don't like the trail, I do, but if you don't, you can turn it off with the Z key. Interestingly enough, his was voiced the first time I went through, so it's probably just a glitch that it isn't showing up right now. There definitely is more
characters and objects.
Voice acting in this build of the game.
Press I to open your inventory. Double-click an item to equip it.
So we will equip our orb and our robes.
Press the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
It's kind of cool. The orb there floats.
The quest tracker
Be
displays
transparent.
current quest objectives.
That probably is not easy to make out on the stream. Wonder how elaborate they're going to be with that. Because I would think it'd be hard to decorate, you know, a glass
Scavengers a rest zone
for more
where out-of-combat
gear.
players may heal.
Sit here for a little bit till we get our health back up. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please speak to me again. I'm afraid I need your help. Although we stopped Valindra's main force, the battle is far from over. The battlefield is crawling with mindless undead who lost their masters in the fighting. To make matters worse, the enemy is raising our dead to use against us. Acolyte Naaman is performing a ritual of Kellumbor to lay the newly dead to rest. That is sure to draw an attack here. I must stay and make sure Naaman finishes her ritual. Could you search the battlefield for any wounded we missed and send them here? After you finish with the wounded, go to Delma Court's camp and tell him our situation. You receive 5 experience points and 5 copper. Again, that was voiced, so something's apparently glitched with the NPC voices.
Left click to launch magic missiles at a single enemy. Hover your reticule over objects and enemies to target them. Arcane powers build stacks of arcane mastery. Each stack increases your arcane damage.
So let's take a look at that. Arcane Mastery. Campfire. Again, we're seeing some pretty impressive effects from the abilities here in terms of kind of giving very nice impact to the combat, which is good. Since the combat doesn't quite feel as dynamic as, say, Terra, but they're making up for visual impressiveness so far.
Thank you.
Follow the golden sparkles.
The level up guide displays everything you get for leveling up. It may also offer important quests.
Okay. New at-will power, Ray of Frost. Click view. 5 to 6 cold damage, 80-foot range, channel a powerful beam of frost to your target, continually adding chill stacks and eventually freezing them when you reach 6 stacks. So that's our second at-will there. While we're here, let's take a look, see if they've added any paths. Nope, they've just got one path still. So this is the spell Storm Mage. I stand at the center of a storm you cannot see, a storm of arcane spells waiting to be snatched from the maelstrom. The arcane energy flowing through the world is a raging storm only you can see. You stand amid the torrent and use it to enhance the power you wield. So at least they don't have insert epic description here like they did last weekend. But I'm still disappointed that they don't yet, or they aren't showing more Paragon paths. But again, beta is beta. Everything's going to be incomplete, / partially broken, / buggy, so They've still got time to actually enhance it, and as you can see, you know, they've just done a pretty good job of enhancing it just between these 2 weekends. So, other than that, I'm not seeing any particularly new things in the character menu.
We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back. Thank you for aiding the wounded. They wouldn't have survived much longer with all the undead roving about. I'll try to get medical supplies and reinforcements to Linklater as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got problems of our own here.
How do you know he's dwarf? Because he sounds Scottish.
I'm afraid I have a gruesome task for you. We've driven Valindra's main army off, but Red Wizard allies are still harassing us with summoned undead. Private Hothedon is trying to drive them off with his archers, but they're short on ammo. Search the battlefield and scavenge some arrows from the dead, and then take them to Hothedon.
Gruesome. Voice acting's pretty good, but, you know, could always be a little bit better.
Press and hold the right mouse button to channel Ray of Frost to slow and freeze a foe. Cold-based powers build stacks of chill on your target. Each stack reduces the target's movement speed.
And unfortunately, they died too quickly.
I will answer your questions if I can, but do not break my concentration.
Sorry about the beeping. There we go.
Valindra had a Dracolich under her control when she attacked Neverwinter. It attacked ships in the harbor, and then came straight for the city. My friends and I were helping Sergeant Knox defend the walls when it attacked. There was a terrific battle, and we were able to defeat it.
I wonder if this is the tiefling that was shown during the big trailer they've had going around. It'd be a nice tie-in, so that, you know, I wonder if that is eventually going to become kind of the game's intro.
I don't know how Valindra got a Dracolich. Perhaps a deal with the cult of the dragon. The important thing is that we deprive her of it. When a Dracolich is killed, its spirit returns to a special phylactery. From there, it can possess the body of another dragon and be reborn. This Dracolich's spirit has not departed yet. I am trying to bind it here. If it cannot return to the phylactery, we may be able to destroy it and deprive Valindra of a powerful ally.
I guess that was just lore. I want to see him freeze. It's still faster, just magic missile them to the death. Unfortunately, as mentioned in my last week's videos, you do need to have a target to fire, so no magic missiles at the darkness, unfortunately. Tiny bit of lag between the spell effects and the actual impacts on the health bar. Not too bad though. Store the arrows in a barrel.
We must drive the wizards back. Thank you for the help. The Red Wizards haven't been driven away, but this will at least force them to keep their heads down.
Level 3, and massive screen shake indicates that we just got a level.
More undead are attacking Neverwinter. They're boiling out of Castle Never and storming the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. If the bridge falls, they will enter the heart of the city, Protector's Enclave. I must stay and deal with the Red Wizards. Please, go to the bridge and aid the defenders. Destroy the undead soldiers near the gate to our north so it may be opened safely. Then talk to Private Wilfred. He will get you inside the city and show you the way to the bridge. Be careful, these undead are more aggressive than others you fought. Tempest grant you strength.
Alright, what do we get? Chill Strike, our encounter power. 80-foot range, 11.3 second cooldown, 61 to 70 cold damage. Hurl a powerful icicle at your enemy, briefly stunning them and adding chill. Spell Mastery. The icicle now shatters on impact, also damaging those around your target. Only main target is stunned. I'm going to guess that Spell Mastery is the thing that we get at what, 10, 15, something like that. Class. I thought it was here. General? Nope. I'm not immediately seeing it. It may not show up initially. Oh, right, we have our dodge, which is essentially a teleport. Let's see what that looks like. That's kind of neat.
Press Q to launch a chill strike, impaling and freezing an enemy with a shard of ice.
And apparently has forgotten my key bindings, or at least they are tied to particular characters. So, if you will excuse me for a moment, I'm going to rebind a little, once I remember where the heck they are. Gameplay. Ah, here we go. Key bindings. So I want. Let's see. I'm binding most of these to the number keys simply because I have a Razor Naga, which has the thumb pad of 12 numbers, so it's easier for me to hit number keys than it is to hit the, I guess it's not necessarily hard to hit the keys, but I'm used to just using the keyboard for movement and the mouse for attacks, so. Let's see. Alright, I just have to kill soldiers. Actually, let's try our ray and see if we can actually freeze them. Oh. That's a neat effect. That's pretty impressive too. I didn't need to take damage there, but I wanted to kind of see some of the stuff. Let's try this at farther range so we can get a better look at the effect. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool looking.
Hello again. You're looking a good deal fiercer than when you washed up on the beach. Told you drying out by the fire would do you good. My mother always says warm clothes make for a warm heart. You've thinned out the skeletons enough that we should be able to slip through the gate safely. Linklater gave me some healing potions for you. You may need them on the bridge.
Left click on a visible location to travel to it.
And this is roughly
They're in trouble. We must go to their aid.
Sorry about that. Trying not to talk over the NPC's voice acting. This is basically where we ended up
Tap any
in
direction
week 1.
to teleport away from enemy attacks.
not only does that show us that, you know, a better intro, that that first part was temporary in week 1, but also that they've potentially slowed down the leveling speed this time, as we are certainly not going to be all the way to level 4 just within the stretch of bridge, which is what happened last time. Okay, I am not good at this. Too much damage. There we go. I certainly could have done that better. Stay frozen for very long. Maybe more useful in the group. Also, cannot move and change.
Hello. Use a health potion to restore them.
In fact, spellcasting in general is pretty neat. I don't need a health potion. Watch, I'm gonna die because I said that. Let's see, if I freeze him, can't attack. And he's not staying frozen for very long. Level 4, whereby I
Press 1 to use
get
Ice
my
Storm,
daily
disabling and damaging your enemies.
Ice Storm. That's convenient. Unleash a massive wave of ice, knocking away enemies, leaving them briefly prone, and adding chill.
You can activate your daily power when your action points are full.
Chill stats. Yeah, so that could actually hit them with that to add chill and potentially Ray of Frost to freeze them. Might be an interesting combo to try. I'll wait till we get to the big game instead. Apparently, I'm out of their range, which is a good thing.
Valindra!
Fortunately, he's not coming with his buddies. Alright. Well, that was effective. little bits of ice that go up his legs as he gains chill stacks. Yes, it's much better just to use this for a short period of time. You can kind of kite them around rather than standing there and channeling it for the whole duration.
Object and select Identify to use the scroll and reveal the item's stats.
We got slippers. Those on.
Sorry. Should have been more cautious. But when I thought of all my friends who died because of her, find Sergeant Knox. Tell him what happened. Ask him to check on my mother from time to time. You have to stop her. Lord Neverember is no saint, but he's better than the alternative. If Neverember fails here, Valindra will rule Neverwinter. Find Sergeant Knox. He's one of Neverember's guards. One of the good ones. You must stop Valindra.
Not the most shining example of voice acting. And we're right into the peaceful town. So, because they changed that intro there from week 1, I also wonder if we are kind of intentionally skipping past another chunk of the story that they have yet to show off. Because it doesn't really make much sense to go into town and then it's like, everybody's happy! This is not using as much stamina as the other classes. I wonder if that's just a tweak or whether they've in general just made them cheaper. So it used to be you'd essentially get 2 dodges for a full stamina bar. It's 2, 3. So you can get 3 out, and then a couple seconds later you can get a 4th.
Protector's Enclave needs your help.
Wilfred is dead. Damnation! Too young to go out like that. I want to thank you for what you did on the bridge. We might have lost Protector's Enclave if the Harbinger breached the walls. Please, look at the chest behind me for a token of my appreciation.
Crystal. Which gives us an additional damage and power. Again, you'll note that the slight gold outline around it means that the game considers it a better equipment than what we had before. Not seeing any other major UI changes at the moment.
Oh, we lost a lot of good people today. The Harbinger appearing so close to the walls does not bode well for the safety of the Enclave.
I understand you lost quite a few of your belongings when the ship you were on was destroyed by the Dracolich. I can't offer you much, but I can supply you with some off-duty clothing. I'm sure you're going to want to relax and get out of your combat gear at some point. Talk to Supply Sergeant Queen. He's just west of here, through that tunnel.
He'll get you sorted out.
Fashion clothing, huh? This is something I didn't encounter in the previous week. Probably similar to cosmetic clothing. Although, depending on how this works, it might be a closer analog to town clothing in Guild
Hello,
Wars 2.
adventurer. I heard about what happened on the bridge. You stopped the Harbinger. We all owe you a debt. Nox asked me to set you up with some clothes to replace those you lost. I'm afraid I don't have anything fancy, but at least they're warm. Take a look in the chest.
Their item preview window could do with a little bit of work. Open your character sheet. Okay. Fashion button to equip and view fashion items. Purely cosmetic gear. So yeah, it's much more like Guild Wars 2's method. And we don't actually have to open our inventory to equip. We can equip directly from here. And if we really wanted to, we could walk around in some badly patched rags. I think I'm going to go back to our robes, because at least they look halfway decent.
You're back. Good. I have some more work for you if you're interested.
Got a report about some disturbances in the vaults beneath the Hall of Justice. The guard are spread thin after the last attack, but you've proven yourself more than capable, so I'd like to ask you to look into it for me. I've told the gate guard you're coming. He'll let you into the vault. This might be where we kind of pick up where we were the last time we were in the beta. I am not seeing... Oh, there's the glowy path, which is sending me this way. Let's find out why. Oh, because I was looking at the wrong icon on my mini-map, that's why. So this is definitely different than before. Which is a good sign in general, because it shows that they have a good chunk of content that they didn't actually show in Beta 1, which also indicates that they may very well be slowing down the leveling pace. Because in all honesty, I should not have been able to get to level 30 in a weekend, when the game only goes to level, what, 60? You're the one Sergeant Knox sent to investigate? Well, I'm glad you're here. We've heard some strange noises from the vault. One of the other guards went to check on it, but he should have been back by now. I have to guard the entrance, but I'll let you through. Find the source of those noises and look for Quartermaster Otis. He'll know what's happening. Hey, people, die. Shell stacks are going to be wearing off, so I can't not be chilled for too long. Gonna have to get better at that. I'm taking way too much damage. So for being a wizard, I don't exactly have a lot of AoE yet. Hopefully that comes pretty soon. These guys are all ranged. Looks like it, so they'll be a little bit easier to take out. get that because we are a mage and we don't have any thievery items in our inventory. Another set of melee characters, looks like. Better. Almost missed the guy. It's a dungeoneering item. Let's knock out melees. Looks like a chest. Yes, treasure chest. Nature kit. Collection of tools including plant sickles, mining picks, and a 10-foot pole. Allows use of nature, interacts with 65% chance of success. That's better than what they've done last week, which was basically the same thing, but you had basically a 100% chance of success. So adding a percentage chance gives you more motivation to actually bring people with differing skill sets. Because you aren't necessarily... Aha! And you don't actually... Okay, so I like this better. So last time, you right-clicked on an item, and it would give you a buff for a certain amount of time that would basically let you use the interactions with a 100% chance. So this time, this is a consumable and you use it per interaction. So I have a 65% chance of successfully gathering this if I use one of these consumables. So let's actually give it a shot. And I did get something this time. Desert Rose, which is a profession resource for leatherworking. It'll be nice to see if they have crafting in this build, but we aren't that far in the game yet, potentially. Big guy, couple small guys, let's knock a small guy out. Not doing so good. A little low in health there. I'm kind of used to my cleric who can keep healing herself. A bunch of ranged characters. Looks like a treasure chest here at the end of the hallway. Portable altar. Right, if you're going to invoke, we haven't actually gotten to that far in the yet. An orb of respite, which is not quite as good as the crystal orb that we have. And I suppose we can afford to use a potion. As my cleric, I ended up with a ton of potions. Got a bit of range in this. Master Otis. Alright. Recruit, some snipers, and a hexer. So let's take out the recruit, because I know I can one-shot him. Let's not stand in that. Looks like that also interrupts anything you might have been casting, which is incredibly useful. That went pretty well. There's a scroll. Okay, it's a lore piece. Or a piece of lore. We got over here Arcana, which is what the wizard can use. So looks like more crafting materials. Let's check over here on the other side. Don't worry. We'll get back to you. I just gotta loot the entire room first. Religion, skill, or kit. The Nashers snuck into the vaults during Valendra's attack on the city. They're here to steal the crown of Neverwinter. They almost got to it, but then they angered the dead resting in the lower vaults. They're fighting each other down there right now. I sealed them in behind the hidden entrance to the lower vaults. There's a secret switch in the bookcase in the back wall. Stop the Nashers before they get the crown. And a... Alright, wait here for a moment to get our health back. Downstairs. Yeah, kind of let them just beat on each other. As long as they appear to be winning. Fortunately, these appear to be reasonably slow. So that wasn't terribly difficult. That is another thievery item. Lethal orb. Definitely better. 4 extra damage, critical strike, and 2 power. And the amulet is for a great weapon fighter, which we are not. Definitely easier to take out than the bandits. Dungeoneering. Go. Game seems a little better balanced this time too. This is not, I mean, it's not hard as such, but it isn't the cakewalk that the cleric was. Again, that might simply have been due to the cleric having heals and being maybe a little overpowered. But I can't just snooze through these fights. defeated 50 undead. Looked more impressive than it was. There's another soldier, so he's a little more powerful. Another item I don't have a kit for at the moment. There's a chest over here, though. Grab that. Potion, altar, smiting belt, which is cleric. Religion kit. Collection of tools of worship including candles, incense, and holy scriptures. Religion interactions with 55% chance of success. Religious tome. Something over here too. This is nature. We still have another nature kit we can use, but it broke. And now we're out of kits. Oh. Pay attention. Yay, campfire. Hey, more zombies. Which means more XP. Alright, charged up. Onward. These effects are also much more visible than they were in the first week. Honor, hurry, get the crown. The Guardian is waking up. Guardian of the Nine. And of course he's going to go after me rather than the actual people who are actually making the theft. I have noticed up in the upper left-hand corner occasionally that it is downloading and patching files, so something to be aware of if you're on a potentially limited connection. I was out of the thing. Server will still be slightly lagging because I've been outside those servers. You're too late. The crown belongs to the Nashers. As I walk right through the pedestal. Crown can wait. Here's a treasure chest. It's 2 copper, amulet of vitality, robes of restoration. Alright, so what does that give us? Plus 10 maximum hit points for our wizard. 5 lifesteal, 1 AC, 1 defense. Examine the scene of the crime. Hey, the crown of Neverwinter has been stolen. Scavenger's belt. Which is a belt I can use. More hit points. Alright. Return to Sergeant Knox in the Enclave. The Nashers were bold to raid the vault so soon after Valindra's attack. Thanks for your help in defending the vault, Callan. Yeah, defending, because I killed the only defender they had and let the thieves give away. Unfortunately, the Nashers got away with the crown of Neverwinter. The crown is a powerful symbol of rightful rule in this city. It must be found before the Nashers can use it to start a rebellion.
The Nashers have stolen the crown of Neverwinter from the vault, but we still have a chance to recover it. We just need to catch the 2 thieves who escaped and trace where the Nashers are hiding the crown. We know that one of the thieves, a sly rogue called Honor Ray, uses a ruined building near the Driftwood Tavern as their hideout. The Nashers will flee if they see me or my squad approach, but you might be able to corner her and find out if Honor still has the crown.
I just got her name. There's no honor among thieves. And yet she is among thieves. Okay, so that must mean a quest I can't quite get yet. Yeah, this seems to be now leading into what we had last week.
Glad to see you. Could you do me a big favor? I'm a quartermaster for the city guard. Our barracks were damaged in the attack, so the officers are using the Driftwood Tavern as a temporary headquarters. I'm supposed to deliver provisions there for their planning meeting. But Lord Neverwinter just summoned me to go over some paperwork. Neverwinter hates to be kept waiting. Could you pick up the supplies from the market and deliver them for me? Here's a list. Just keep heading south.
So yeah, I'm reasonably certain that this is now kind of caught up with what I showed off last week, which is probably not going to be terribly interesting for those of you who watched the video. So, well, what are we doing? Oh hey, they show where the mail is this time, which is good. Most requested thing in last week's beta. Where's the mailman? Because this icon wasn't here. Alright. Actually, that's probably a decent enough place. I think we're kind of approaching an hour or have gone slightly over it. So I'm going to call it here for now, and I will continue playing on my own. See if I can uncover any other bits of the game, because, you know, continuing on the stuff that I showed last week is not going to be terribly interesting. So I do plan on putting out more videos this weekend. I'm not sure how many. It's probably going to end up being fewer than last weekend, because this is really just kind of covering the updates between the 2 weeks rather than showing off the game as a whole. So thank you all for watching. We will be back at some point in the future, and hopefully that will be with a higher level wizard, and if I'm really lucky and grind my rear off, I might even be able to show you some post level 30 content, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you for watching, and have a good evening.